Good morning, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. So I could literally make a blooper reel out of how many times I tried to record the intro here. I just tongue twisters today, but we'll get into it here. We have Dwarves for 10.1. Some of you guys have been requesting this, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm intrigued by what we can do with the Dwarven Agitator getting a rework, given that now we're able to give two cards in hand, being Dwarves and armor. And then whenever we play one, it gets an armor as well. So you can imagine how the armor is going to stack quite well. And I have some ideas for future decks with Iris Shade, maybe going into stacking armor like crazy with the Iris Shade, and then we can go as far as using... Where is he? Well, the Chariot. We could put more armor with that, maybe some bandits and do a big Irish Shade slam. I'm thinking about doing that for like a bandit deck that I have planned in my head, but for now we'll go with like as much of a serious Dwarves deck as possible. So good card. I think this is going to be replacing tempering quite fine. Just given the extra armor that we have, it should be really easy to keep a lot of our engines going. We have resilience things we want to keep in check. We have an extra point for the Yarpen we're going to be getting, extra for the Broover. We have more for the Berserkers. We have a more secure Pyrotech and a safer Miner. So there's a lot of things that benefit from having the extra armor here. And this deck doesn't have a lot of control. You see, there's a little bit in the way of the Pyrotechs and maybe the Berserkers, but we didn't go for the Heat Wave here. This is probably one of the greedier versions that you have, but I think high risk equals high reward, and with the resilience and all the stuff we got going on here, I'm sure that we have strong potential for 2-0 if they can't answer some of our engines. So we have Monroe. This one here transforms two Rowdy Dwarfs into Berserkers, which would be these ones here. So we're going to be getting tons of value from that. We're going to be spawning Rowdy Dwarfs off the Zoltan Warriors here. You can see how we can put two on the row if we spawn in the melee, or we can boost them all if we put it on range. Depending on the situation, we can play something different. We do have the ability here to get an extra Rowdy Dwarf off of our Defender, and three off of our Zoltan's Company, so there's no shortage of them in this deck. It just kind of depends on the situation when you're going to take which of the effects here. So that's pretty well it. We have good deck thinning with Oniro and Novigradian Justice with the Volunteers. You can go as far as playing the Justice into just about any Dwarf and playing one of the Volunteers from hand. I think that's fine as well. That actually acts for extra thin, so I would recommend doing something like that. Resilience makes it very pesky for the opponent to look for a pass, because this puts us at an advantage. If we play these resilience cards in round 1 behind Defender and they stick, we have card advantage for round 2 and we can try and 2-0 the opponent. So you can see how that kind of helps us steamroll them quite a bit. Yarpen's just a good point slam, good value for what it's worth. It does a bit of damage as well, and it's going to be boosting itself now by a couple, right? Because we have the agitators out there, so it's going to make sense in that way. And just good proactive engines like Xavier getting the boost every turn, and really good starting play, and then just point slams for the end. We can stack our rows, put this at the end of the row, get a ton of value at the end of a turn. Really good trade up for a low provision card. We have just good proactivity here with the mercenaries, right? Being able to put these on a row. We don't have anything but Dwarves in this deck, so it's not going to damage itself by anything. We don't have to worry about playing it. Just a very simple deck to play. It's very forgiving. It can afford many mistakes and still get good value. But I'm going to show you guys today the best way I think you should be playing this in pro rank. So we'll get into some games here with commentary. This will be live commentary because I just feel like playing and chatting today. But I'm looking forward to it. And if you guys like the content that you see, don't forget to sub for daily content. This is what keeps the channel going strong. And I look at putting out videos every single day at 8 AM Eastern Daylight Time. So let's get into the games. So the first game we had Syndicate, Jackpot. So how do we want to play this here? Armor's going to be good. I'm just worried about poison. We don't really want company here in round 1. I'm a little concerned that if I mulligan back Broover, we might not see it again, but we have to try. And we're stacking fairly well. We don't have a lot of setup for that, so we'll just go here and do this. Good proactivity with Agitator. Keep it out of... I mean, if they have horse in, they're still taking it out. I think we just go for that option there. Play a nice long round with those. Whatever they play here gets this on the board right away. So they are likely Devo, so that means we can just TA maybe the Gabor. Ooh, we get the poisons out on the bronzes, so the golds stick. There, we'll make it all symmetrical. This will just keep ticking. All of a sudden, now they don't want to poison that one because it's not the good one. This is the good one. I feel pretty good about that. There goes your poison. We want to put this down now. Because the poison package is out of the way.
Sewers remind me of the fjords back home.
Start to take our thins too. Decent amount of coins. I'm looking for one more turn here, guys. Okay, that's pretty good. $24, 9 coin, bolt comes out. We still have to sort of be careful here. Keep that one going. I wish it kept the boost. That would be crazy if it kept the boost. Okay, so we have points on the board. We can just go for, like, Justice and play into this a little bit. We don't really swarm too much, but we swarm enough to make it count. There are just probably better cards we could play, though. Like that, you know? Gotta get down some more resilience here. It'd be nice to get Zoltan on the board. I think we owe Nero for the Zoltan. And then we could just take Thin. Just play maybe one of these from deck or one of these from deck. Okay. If we're talking value, it's probably better to play this first. So we can get rid of the tax collector, and then we can look at the pass that we could potentially have here. I don't think I like the idea of playing something like Broover this round. Okay, so they read the play. That's fine. We'll click. It makes sense to remove that. So this is part of the whole Salamander combo, by the looks of it. We'll continue. Do we continue to go in? I think we still do. And then we back out. I think that's enough. That's a really good tribute. Yeah, we don't play here because I know they have a huge swing coming up. So we'll just go and take a card, maybe get them to spend all their coins, maybe get 2 cards. I don't know what they have. Seeing Siggy there's huge. We got a lot of gold cards out of them in this round. We want 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Broover will boost himself. If I have to play Broover empty board state, that's also a thing. Okay, if I was going to go into Spawn 2, Transform 2, then this is kind of dead otherwise, right? Horson takes care of this, no problem. So I'm a little bit worried about that play. That could be a big problem for us here. It's just if we're transforming them, we don't want to boost one with our tempering. It doesn't make sense. If they can't answer with Horson, though, I think we're fine. Okay. That should just be fine.
What do you say we fight on my level, eh?
And then we just jam Broover, we jam Pyrotech, we jam the last card, we use our leader last.
Premium grade won't find any better.
Okay.
The favor's enough. Let's get to work.
That should be good. They have a lot of coins, though, with the tribute play. It's annoying.
Uh-oh.
If last say Salamander, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Okay. That's a lot of points.
Now we must stick together.
Comes down to a good hit here. Out of all the ones it hits the armor. So moving on to another game here, we have Battle Trance Skellige. I'm convinced that Battle Trance is still very good. And we go first. I wonder if 2's ever too much. We definitely don't want to have this in hand right now. The Thin's really cool. And I think we put back Company, because there are certain ways we want to play it. That's not one of them. Do I like 7 points or do I like more? We go for more. That's perfect because we can use that and then use Justice for something else. So that's the play for sure. Go ahead and get this out there. Dwarves to me play like Thrive monsters. You put down cards, and you just watch them go.
I suppose, and the end.
We'll get this going here sooner than later. Gotta protect the Gabor from a Giga. The discard package is a lot of tempo. It's a pretty big issue when we're playing something like what we've got here compared to what they've got. But we have some good plays. We want to get these online probably now. This will help kind of save us in the round. And we want to look for an opportunity to play the Gabor. But if we can take round 1, then we can just play that round 2 going into round 3. That's pretty good here. Patience will save us. We're getting the 2 passive points per turn, then -1 on their side of the playing field. So we're technically looking at, well, no, 2 because of that. 1 here. You see what I'm saying? I'm a Stribog user, so I wonder if this is similar to what I was running last month. I had a lot of success playing Battle Trance.
You think this is a storm? Then you know nothing.
So we gotta get the other one online too. Doesn't matter where we put them. There we go, 3 passive points per turn. And then we could try and take a thin. Gabor wouldn't be bad here though. That's a really good tech into Dwarves. I think we take this.
Alright, that's no problem.
And we'll TA something that's not that tall. Now we can look for a safe pass here. We got it. Was hoping that they'd play one more. I wonder if we could try and bleed out Getty. So we'll put that back to avoid the bricks. We got Zoltan, which is perfect. I have this to kind of prepare for a little bit of carryover. This feels a little bit slow. That's kind of nice. We've got really good ammunition for round 3. I want to set up Zoltan for round 3. If I was to pull out a card... Okay, so it's Agitator first.
We've lived in isolation for
1
bloody
and...
long.
Probably just to make sure, Zoltan. I know 5 seems like a lot, but we don't want that to get damaged at all. We want that to take a heat wave, if anything. They have rain and all types of stuff they can do.
So be it.
Now, I have to do a sunset check. I haven't seen if they got Sunset Wanderers. That could be a problem.
Nothing like some overseas plundering in springtime.
Okay, we keep jamming here. Whenever we play a dwarf, give it... Yeah.
Next time it'll be
Take a
personal.
fin. Stack a little more. I want to see Gedneth at least. There's Sunset. If we could somehow get that out in this round, that'd be really good. We abuse a little bit by playing the Pyros, because then we're taking off points that they play. 4 points per turn off that exchange. Okay, we could probably snipe one here. I'm feeling pretty confident. Nope.
Uh-oh.
is an arrogant creature.
2 out there is kind of scary. Can we snipe 1 though at least? They're thinking about using that here, aren't they? Yep.
Use a pint.
We take the click. There comes sunset. If I can get out right here, I will. 100%.
I value adventures only independence can provide.
Are they a heatwave friend, do you think? If it's anything like my decks, I run heatwave in all of them. You see what I'm going for here, right? Do we ever jam? No. I think that's fine. So what's going to give me the most points here, guys? We need this, this, this. But we don't want to ruin ourselves here. If we pull into another one of these, I think we lose. Transform 1. Yeah, we're in trouble. We're in trouble because we need Brewer. I guess we could transform the one off here and still take Brewer. It's not ideal, but it's something. If he controls, yeah, it would be nice if we had this in hand, get the armor on the 3, but okay. We'll start working here.
You'll never take one plowing step further.
I think Brewer has to come down next. 100%. And we hope that they don't have purified tech so that they heatwave it. Looks okay so far. We gotta respect that. And put this here. Now the points that we're gonna be losing from Yarpin, we're gonna be getting back because we're gonna be playing, we're gonna be getting more armor. Like for the Brewer, so I have to play this now.
You nicked my mushrooms again.
There we go, and I'm hoping that this will just be enough to push past, but they're gonna have tons of points, guys. It's gonna be crazy.
One who is blind can yet see.
There's not a lot we can do here.
To lurk with a shrill cry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It fills up perfectly though. That's good. More green health means less value from leader if we ping something. We'll just jam these. And one of them can probably go in the Yarpen for sure, because the Yarpen will boost itself when it loses the armor. Well, that's also an issue.
Humans above, beasts below, which is worse?
Free me! Lift me to the skies! Devour me!
2 alchemies, another off the leader. It's tons of points here.
I don't know if anyone's got any hooch left.
They get 6, 4, it's 10 off truffle. This should be enough, I think. Put Yarpen last because we want the armor to come off after Brewer boosts the row. Doesn't matter what we hit. And we go here because the 2 armor. There we go. So this is a matchup that I'm actually kind of excited about because we have a lot of armor. It's going to be more difficult for them to remove our cards. So let's get it started here, especially with the agitators coming down. We don't care about things like the boats and stuff. Probably tuck back the miner here. We don't want to boost a whole lot. And I'm going to be putting back Zoltan as well. A couple agitators, not bad. Good tempo with these. These are going to be really difficult for them to deal with. Imagine having to like Morkvarg one of these.
So what? Should I pound it into a poker?
Yeah, so we'll take this. We have some space and time. We'll go 1 and 2. And then I think for the other one, we go on the Pyrotex. It doesn't really matter though, because we'll be... Actually, no, because we'll be playing these from hand. And they'll get the extra armor. So it should just be fine.
What? This? Scratch. Coexistence, my ass!
This is kind of funny. We're doing complete opposite plays here.
What is it?
So they let it... Yeah, they decide to let it flip. It's probably better points for them. Now we can just go ahead and play this. Look at that. 9. This is going to keep going for the entire round.
send them all back in pieces.
So I want to play something a bit faster next turn. I'm thinking about going in with Justice, get the Thin going down. We want to sort of put us in a spot where we could win on even. And we're getting to the point where they could pass probably here and just be fine. Still getting the armor. The most points for the volunteers. There we go. That's right where I want to be. And then we just trade very effectively with just putting down our bronzes. I guess at that point they realize it's a loss on even, might as well just get out of the round and try and defend the bleed. 5 cards is the place to pass if you're going to do so, so good. Now we can sort of play a little bit more aggressively and see what we can get in exchange for some of our bronze cards. Pyros are pretty good here. I don't love the Mahakam Guard. This is okay. Suppose 7's fair. Let's go for something a little bit... Yeah, that's better.
Have you seen a fuse lying about, have you?
We'll just play it down here, try and get some commitments out of the way. There is consideration, though, to go with Defender and then go into Brewer, but I just don't know if that's the play. Maybe we try. Maybe we try. It would involve them spending quite a bit to get out of the situation.
I promise you a quick death. Mahakam worse than I built in a day.
Alright, this one might suck. We don't really have a way to answer a lot of their cards, and armor doesn't really matter as much here. So we have something. We do have something, so it's worth keeping in this rate. Maybe we put back the minor. We take a thin, plus we get the extra thin, plus we get... I mean, that's a pretty good round 1 hand. Probably greedy a little bit more here. Let's try something like that. I kind of like going down with Pyros.
Have you seen a fuse
We just
lying about,
click
have you?
those for everything they play. Kind of changes the strategy a little bit though.
Uh-oh.
We do technically have removal reach. 4-8 if we snipe both. Yarpin for the third. I don't think I take that, though. They're gonna go for a flutter, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. What if we click? What if we click? Yes! Satisfying. I think we take a thin here.
Hi-ho, hi-ho.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to play into this round too much. Maybe we opt for the thin with the justice, but
I am devoured only to be born anew.
okay. That's what they're doing. No Sabbath, though. The problem is, what they take back is significantly better than what we take back. Don't think we need Agitator here. That's good to see. I think we could probably put one of these back.
You were born at the dawn of time.
Nothing like a dwarf to get you out of a tight spot.
Gotta take here and respect the tempo. So we take Zoltan.
Damn the horse sons!
And then we play the company. And I'm pretty sure if they would have had Heatwave in hand, they would have used it here. It's a lot of flutters, though. And then we could just essentially go in. Maybe just put a point slam on the end of the row. Start playing some more resilience.
My sweet, sweet children.
It's important that we stay ahead here. I'll take this now so we can start engineering off. Imagine if we had a Yurden. It would be huge. I think we survived the bleed though. So we probably want this.
Stand.
Payment. Don't fret. I know where your corpse will be found.
I don't think we care for Doomed unless they're going to be able to destroy a Doomed unit. But we still maintain lead if we play something like this.
Humans above, beasts below. I don't know which is worse.
I'm thinking that we go and we take... That's not bad. I think we put the armor on this one here. For a better click.
I don't know if anyone's got any hooch left.
Yeah, just in case they remove it. I'm kind of worried that... Okay, I was kind of worried that they had like a Yurden, for example. Just because they kept forcing it. So we get the carryover, as do they. Theirs is going to be 9 points. Ours is going to be 9 points. And it's too short of a round to care about these two cards, I think. We want 1 and 2, or 1 and 2. Wow. Okay, we're doing just fine. Spawn 2. Transform them both. It'll be more points. It's a little bit slow that we don't have Xavier up first, but I think that this is the way. We just play this one here. We'll put it on the tall unit because we can maybe kill this one off. And then we'll put down the defender to take away from the bleeding.
Why should I help you?
Actually, at this point, I think we just care for the points.
What's in a boot?
We should win this game. Oh yeah.
Was it so plowing crummy in Nilfgaard?
Last say is going to be Regis, I would imagine.
Anything in particular interest you? Oh, those stammers are in for a wobble the heart.
There we go.
You shall die, worm.
And we got Carapace. I'm thinking it's probably Kelly here. That could be a pretty big problem for us. So let's keep them. We have good targets for it. We want to get better targets for it. That's good. Maybe chuck this back too. That's okay. At least we get the thin. So if it looks like Kelly and feels like Kelly, it's probably Kelly, right?
We've lived in isolation for too bloody
Hey.
long.
Let's get these bad boys underway because we want to be able to snip something behind the defender. Maybe try and use them both in the same turn for a better high roll.
You talked enough.
A wee hint. Dunny jiggleless.
They're onto us. Okay, so here's the strat. Here's the strat. Click Siri. Click Siri. Random ping. Kill. Alright, watch. Why do they gotta take away the fun? Resilience is good, that's good. Everything's pretty good here. We tuck that back. Maybe we tuck that back too. So far so good. We have what we need. Nithril is bad. Let's go ahead and play defender here. We gotta start getting down Bruver. I think that's the only way. Okay.
Come the whole sons!
Maybe we'll get lucky, they'll use a natural selection on us here. Nope.
Fool me once, death on you. No one gets to fool me twice.
I think we respect. Put this here. Take a leader, make it a little bit more difficult for them to get through there. That's not half bad. We want to get the max value off this here. So I'd probably go and take Yarpen. Yeah, I think so. It's not ideal, but we have to.
Tear the legs from the battle geese.
And we need the points.
You're lucky to keep your heat. Dance! Dance! Dance with my death!
This is getting chipped down slowly. Slowly but surely here. Spawn 3. I think that... yeah, that's just out of the way. I want to get rid of most of the units before we go into round 3. Here, we'll just go and play this because we can. We have room.
These need us.
It's pretty fortunate for us here. We got the carryover we needed. I don't know if it's going to be enough. It actually creates board contrast right away, which is unfortunate. Ruber's kind of nice. Maybe that's something we dive for. I do have 2 mulligans though. We'll take... okay. Probably gonna lose these. There is also a chance they miss Kelly.
Satisfying us plucking a ripe apple.
Nope. Probably Bruber. We're losing a lot of points.
The favor's enough. Let's get to work.
losing nearly 5 points per turn.
Right.
I don't see a way. We're going to be losing 6 here, right? They're +2. Wow. That was actually incredibly close in an unwinnable game. So there you have it, guys. We played some really good games today, and we lost one by sheer luck. You know, we got a bad ping at the end of the game, and the other one we lost, it was just a matchup we should have never won to begin with. So Kelly matchup's going to be very difficult. I would imagine playing into most of the boosty decks, this deck is pretty good. It has lots of tempo, you're slamming down points, the engines are getting out of control, you have the resilience, there's tons of great stuff. It's just when we play into other decks and there are things that require an answer, if we can't answer those, we might actually lose in some cases. So a good example of that would be like the Geddeneth matchup. We got lucky in the game that we played, but that's a very difficult one. Colgrim would be a very difficult matchup as well. Kelly is a difficult matchup here because there's certain things we need to answer that we don't have the ability to. So something to consider if we're looking to tech this into the meta right now is we would want to go maybe with I want to say one of the guards goes, because I find that sometimes these don't play for a lot of value. It really depends on the round. Sometimes in short round this could actually make us lose the game. I would probably go for that. And then I would put in the Peller. And I would probably look at... So I don't mind this. I don't mind this either. It would have to be something in this range that we change. Xavier wouldn't be a bad thing to remove if we made room for a Heatwave, but it would be Xavier and something. Spawn 2, boost all. This works really well in this deck because we have the one off the Defender, we have the one off the Zoltan Company, so I would almost be as inclined to put either the Zoltan Warrior goes. Yeah, I think it might be in this case. If we're just looking... It just puts this card at risk is all. That's what I'm worried about here. But it would have to... boost all by 2. We're never really doing the swarm part. We like the berserk. You could take that out. It wouldn't change too much. We still have the points that we're getting from it. And then with the 2 provisions here, we can look at maybe putting in a 6. And it would be great if it was a dwarf. However, I don't think it's absolutely necessary that it's a dwarf. I've been running into a lot of matchups right now that are bringing things back from the grave. So there's that whole experience that if you want to try and avoid that, you could put in a lemons. Or you can always put in Poly if you feel that you need more armor or you want to be able to move something out of the way for the heat wave. This could be actually very good. Especially then it lets us use our Purify defensively if we need. So I don't mind Poly here. I've actually been known to play Poly quite often. I don't mind Doragore either. I think that that's not a bad card to have because the lock is actually pretty valuable. But either of these 3 would be fine in, let's say, the 6P slot. I don't think it should change a whole lot with the deck. And then to compensate a little bit for that, you might want to drop maybe one of the mercenaries and put in the 6. So what I'm noticing right now to be the most difficult is something like the the matchups where they bring in stuff back from the grave, the Gedneth Crow Mother, the monsters with the whole Kelly swing and all the different variants of that. So I might opt for this. But really, you can do whatever you want here, and I'll leave that up to you. But that concludes it for the video. I just wanted to go in and make a live adjustment and, you know, show you an alternative version to the deck. For the sake of the video here, I'll just pick one though. We have a removal. Really with Kelly though, the only problem is the Kelly. Lock's not bad. Lock's not really bad. But this will be like maybe the alternative version that I put in the comments for you guys. And if you enjoy the content that you see here, like I said, don't forget to sub. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. And if you guys have any suggestions for me, please drop them in the comments below. And I'll try to get to whichever ones I can throughout the week. So, see you guys soon.